Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Friday, August 23rd, 2024. Let's take a look at the charts. I will start with this one, and that is just to remind you that despite yesterday's key reversal high, we put out a new high following the August low. We closed back below, this whole congestive area, including Wednesday's low, and that is usually a sign of an overbought market. But I think it was just sort of the market got shook. We've got Fed speak coming up. I do think 116.49 is now likely. We could actually see that today. There is a rising channel bottom at 124.76 today. An unchanged open would have us open below 124.76. And this is then intraday resistance, can contain buying in the morning, and we could, within an hour or two, fall to 116.49. 116.49 is still your support area as we talk about the market through September trade. We are still anticipating 154.04 as a 1 to 2 month, 3 to 5 weeks, somewhere in there objective. We need to see the market reverse from the reversal back to the upside. But 116.49 I think is likely, maybe today, but over the next few days, and it can contain selling through next week and quite possibly through September. So this is decent bottom picking territory. Now, if over the next, I don't know about today. I mean, that is possible that we could close below 116.49 today. But I think what is likelier is we could fall to some extent and then test the speed line, continue to test the speed line early next week. Just know that on September 3rd, which is like a week from next Tuesday or something like that, as I recall, we converge anyway with this rising 2/3 speed line. What am I saying here? What I'm saying is that these two red lines, as they converge through time, will become a mere range of support. But for right now, it is pretty stair-step. If we close below 116.49, that is a pretty significant failed buy signal. That does maybe have longer-term downside implications. But I really wouldn't want to play the short side aggressively as we move into later September unless we were to close below 105.10. So ideally, as if we're going to continue south, that the market bounces off of 116.49, which I think is likely, rounds back up for a day, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe retest it again when these two are convergent. And as long as we continue holding above these 2 points, this is a bottom-picking market, a big picture as we move through September. If we were to close below 105.10, and that's certainly not going to happen today, but if we did, that would be a meaningful sell signal as we continue into later September trade. I would expect lower trade into the 80s under that scenario, but we're nowhere near that right now. What I see right now is a short-term sell signal below 128.73. We also have 130 even in there as well. Where are you? There it is. 130 even is the high settlement price following the August low. 128.73 is this former channel bottom that we settled above earlier in the week, held, and then we collapsed below it on Thursday. So that in itself is a sign of weakness. That I think should yield 116.49 over the next few days. And if we break or open today below 124.76, I think you should allow 116.49 today. And if we close below 116.49, I am only anticipating 105.10, despite the fact that I know that ultimately having closed back below this trend-defining speed line could yield longer-term bearish continuation into later September. I really want to wait for a settlement below this speed line here because I think it just might snag selling through the rest of September if we were to test it. Let's talk upside today, that if we were to close back above the 128.73 to 130 area, that pivots the market aggressively north. Yes, 135.58 in reach. I think that this may well be reduced to an intraday resistance level because I do think if we close back above 130 even, especially today, that 135.58, I don't see it as containing anything more than maybe a day. I do think we are then unlikely to reach 140.76 within probably 3 to 5 days of closing above 130 even. So, 3 to 5 day swing traders, you do not want to be long right now. You want to set a short in the 128.73 to 130 even area. Of course, if we close above 130 even, you want to reverse and go long up to 140.76. But until then, you're short below 128.73, expecting 116.49 and dropping over the next 3 to 5 days. Could be today with a break below 124.76. And so, holding above 116.49, I just want to remind you that we are still expecting the mid 150s and climbing over the next month or two. And if we can, by the way, reverse back above 130 even, I think we could see the mid 150s within 2 to 3 weeks. We could see another run like this. So we could see that longer term objective sooner than that, much sooner than that. If we close above 130 even right about here, I wouldn't be surprised to see this within 2 to 3 weeks. So this area, upper 120s, low 130s, meaningful pivot point, especially to the upside. To the downside, not so much. We're only expecting 116.49. But because we're above 116.49 and we still have a long-term buy signal above 116.49 and we're still expecting 154.04 over the next month or two, just closing above 130 even right about here in the chart would allow 154.04 within 2 to 3 weeks, where we could top out through October trade and fall away again from there. I hope that all made sense. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. We put out 3 stock picks this week, 2 on Thursday alone. You can see it all for free by going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial. I'm going to leave it at that. I'll be back Sunday afternoon with Monday's NVIDIA report, and you have a great weekend.